Hi everyone. Welcome to this quick but important pre-travel document briefing for our upcoming trip. Whether you're flying for fun, study, or work, we're here to help you start your journey right. So what's the purpose of this session? Simple: to make sure you go through immigration or any consulate process as smoothly as possible, with no delays, no offloading, and no document issues. Believe it or not, many travelers get stopped or delayed just because they miss a document, something that could have been easily prepared in advance. That's exactly what we want to help you avoid today. Who is this session for? It's for first-time international travelers, OFWs, tourists, students and minors, and even freelancers or those with non-traditional work, basically anyone who needs a little guidance to feel confident and ready at the airport. All right, let's get started. We'll go over all the important documents you need, plus a few tips on how to save on costs and where to ask for help if needed. Let's dive in. Let's start with the most important document, your passport. Your passport should be valid for at least 6 months after your return date. For example, if you're returning in March, your passport should still be valid until September. If there's less than 6 months left, go ahead and renew it right away. Next, let's check if your passport is still in good condition. You may not be allowed to board if the cover is worn or torn, there are missing or torn pages. The data page, the one with your photo and details, is damaged or unreadable. There's an issue with the e-passport chip. Pro tip: if you think your passport is damaged, get it assessed at the DFA as soon as possible so you can renew it on time. It's better to be safe than sorry and risk getting offloaded. Next up is the visa. If a visa is required for your destination, make sure it's valid and the details are correct. Double-check the visa expiration and if there are additional requirements at the embassy or consulate. But wait, I have an important tip for you. Always carry an extra copy or photocopy of your passport and visa. One copy at home, one copy in your bag. Save it on your phone, email, or messenger. If your passport gets lost abroad, you'll have a backup that will make it easier to apply for a replacement or contact the embassy. The more prepared you are, the better. Before finalizing your trip, confirm your visa is valid for your travel dates. You have the correct visa type, tourist, work, transit, etc. The number of entries matches your itinerary, whether single or multiple entries. This is important to avoid issues when you get to immigration. Be aware, some countries require a transit visa, especially if you have a layover in another country before reaching your final destination. Make sure to check if you need a transit visa. Note, many ASEAN countries don't require a visa for Filipino passport holders. For example, Hanoi, Vietnam, you don't need a visa if you're a Philippine passport holder, but if you're traveling to another country, check their visa requirements to be sure. Next, let's talk about proof of sufficient financial capacity. All travelers, especially if it's your first time traveling internationally, need to show proof that you have enough funds for your trip. This ensures that you can cover your expenses while abroad. The accepted documents you can use to prove your financial capacity are bank statements, usually for the last 3 months, credit card statements or copies, cash or travel money you're bringing, proof of funds from financial institutions or documents showing that you have enough money for your trip. Tip: if your bank savings aren't enough, you can also use a sponsorship letter from a family member or friend to show financial support for your trip. Some countries require detailed proof of financial capability, so always be prepared. Documents for employed travelers. If you're employed, you'll need additional documents to prove you have a job and permission to travel. The documents required are company ID to confirm you're employed, certificate of employment. Request this from HR as early as possible so you're not rushing at the last minute. Approved leave form. Show that your leave has been approved for your travel dates. Latest payslip. Provide your most recent payslip as proof of employment status and income. For government workers, For government workers, there are additional requirements. Travel order or clearance to travel from your department. It's better to process this early to avoid last-minute rush. Tip: if there are travel restrictions or travel bans in your company, make sure to get all approvals before applying for a visa or booking your flight ticket. It's safer to have all your documents ready before applying. Self-employed travelers. If you're self-employed, you need specific documents to prove that you have a legitimate source of income. Here are the documents you need. First, you need your DTI or SEC registration. If you're a sole proprietor, you need DTI registration, and if you're a corporation or partnership, you'll need SEC registration. This serves as proof that you're legally registered and operating your business. Business permit. Next is your business permit. If you have a physical store, you'll need a mayor's permit or business permit from your local government unit, LGU. For online businesses, you still need a business permit to show that your business is legally operating. Proof of income, tax returns, receipts. For proof of income, you'll need documents that show how much you're earning from your business. You can submit tax returns, BIR Form 1701 or 1702, receipts for products or services you're selling, invoices showing your transactions. For managing partners. If you're a managing partner, you'll also need to submit a certification from your partners stating that you're a part owner of the business. This certification will show that you have legal authority over the business and a stake in its operations. Why these documents matter for managing partners. If you're a managing partner, you'll also need to submit a certification from your partners stating that you're a part owner of the business. This certification will show that you have legal authority over the business and a stake in its operations. If you need any further adjustments or additions, feel free to ask. Proof of ownership or operation. Let's quickly go over the key documents for proving ownership or operation of land. Land title or photocopy. If you own the land, bring a photocopy of your land title. Lease agreement. If renting, have your lease agreement ready, showing your name and lease dates. Certificate of land ownership. A certificate of land ownership from the DAR or local office is needed for landowners. Barangay or municipal certification. For agribusiness owners, a barangay or municipal certification confirms your status as a farmer. These documents ensure your land ownership or operation is clearly verified. Proof of income and business transactions. Now let's go over the key documents for proving your farm or agribusiness income. Receipts of produce sales. Keep receipts of your sales, whether to buyers, markets, or co-ops. These show the income from your produce. Contracts with buyers. If you supply regularly, have contracts that detail terms, prices, and quantities. Delivery or invoice receipts. Make sure you have delivery or invoice receipts with amounts and dates for each transaction. Bank deposit slips. Bank deposit slips showing income from sales will help confirm your earnings. BIR Form 1701. If self-employed, include BIR Form 1701 to show your tax filings. Letter of explanation. A brief letter explaining that your income comes from farming will complete your documentation. Having these documents ready ensures smooth verification of your business transactions. Barangay or municipal certification as a farmer or agribusiness owner. Finally, if you're involved in agriculture or agribusiness, make sure to secure a barangay or municipal certification. This certifies that you are recognized as a legitimate farmer or agribusiness owner in your community. With all these documents ready, you'll be well prepared for any necessary verifications, whether for travel, business, or legal purposes. Supporting documents, general, issued within 6 months. Now let's go over the supporting documents you may need depending on your situation. PSA documents. Include PSA birth, marriage, or death certificates if required. NBI clearance. An NBI clearance is needed for security checks. OFWs. For OFWs, bring your Overseas Employment Certificate, OEC, and working visa. Students. Students will need a school ID and enrollment documents. Seniors, retirees. Seniors should have their senior citizen ID. Minors, with or without parents. Minors traveling alone or with non-parents need a DSWD travel clearance and notarized parental consent. Make sure these documents are issued within the last 6 months for validity. We'll go over these quickly next. Medical and NBI clearances. Let's review the required clearances for health and security. Medical clearance. Individual, especially senior citizens with or without pre-existing illnesses, should obtain a medical clearance. NBI clearance. An NBI clearance within 6 months is recommended for first-time OFWs without strong employer documentation, travelers to high-risk or transit countries, freelancers or self-funded travelers, individuals with irregular or gapped passport histories. These clearances ensure your health and security are properly verified for travel. Credibility and moral character. For credibility and moral character, an NBI clearance issued within the last 6 months is highly recommended. This is important for several groups of travelers. First, first-time OFWs without strong employer documentation need this clearance to verify their background before travel. For travelers to high-risk or transit countries, the NBI clearance ensures no legal issues or security risks. Freelancers and self-funded travelers should provide this clearance to show they're financially responsible and trustworthy. Individuals with irregular or gapped passport histories need it to clarify past travel gaps or issues, confirming they have a clean record. People with common names should get an NBI clearance to avoid any confusion or mistaken identity. For solo female travelers heading to certain destinations, this clearance adds an extra layer of safety and credibility. Minors or young adults traveling alone or with non-relatives also need this clearance to ensure they're traveling with proper documentation and support. Lastly, former OFWs traveling as tourists should get the NBI clearance to differentiate their previous employment status from their tourist purpose. In all these cases, the NBI clearance ensures you're fully vetted, smoothens your travel process, and helps maintain security and trustworthiness. As we approach the end of this session, as you prepare for your trip, here are some final reminders to keep in mind. First, double-check the validity of all your documents to ensure there are no issues. Always keep both physical and digital copies of your documents for backup. Be sure to organize your documents neatly and keep them easily accessible when you need them. When speaking to officials, be honest, calm, and confident during any questioning. This helps ensure a smooth process. Dress travel smart. Look like you're ready to splurge and explore, but also be practical for your journey. Following these simple steps will help ensure that your travel goes smoothly and without surprises.